Okay, hold up. Hold up. You mean that one of us might not really be a vamp kid?
Oh God, I'm starting to feel emo.
It was many and many a year ago in a kingdom by the sea that a scumbag there lived who you may know, and that scumbag's name was me. And the scumbag they lived with no other thought than to love and be loved by me. Hello everyone, welcome to the show. Midwest Scumbags. How was that for an intro, right? Let's all clap for me. All clap, everybody, wow. Thank you.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
I thought that all
Did
up.
You write
yeah,
that yourself?
all myself. It's in my journal, actually.
Oh. You know, I hear really cool people keep journals. That they're not gay at all.
They aren't. And I'm glad you stated that fact for me. For us, for the viewers, for everybody.
Yeah, so that everybody knows. Yeah.
But I'm your host tonight, Skyler. You all know me by now. And my co-host, Elliott. You all probably know him by now.
You fucking better know me by now.
We're what, 41 episodes, 40 episodes in? So,
yeah,
clap again,
official.
Give us another round of applause, folks. We made it.
Yeah, applause sign lighting up. That's... Yeah, 40 official episodes. That's crazy. We have a couple secret episodes and a couple that never saw the light of day.
They're in the vault.
Yeah. They're in the vault. And they're holed up in the cellar with our casks of wine, so to speak.
And maybe a body.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps there's a body hidden in those casks of wine somewhere.
Maybe. You've been hammering home the theme of this episode tonight.
Yeah, I did.
It is. Fucking episode 40. Edgar Allan Poe, for all of you who aren't fucking emo fuckface faggots like us who didn't get into Edgar Allan Poe back in the day. That was, we've referenced now 2 of his works. Episode 40. He died at age 40. I know you know that, but that's gotta suck, dude. Dude had just a tragic fucking life. It was really, really sad. And I feel bad.
Poor bastard.
But he wrote some goddamn good writing, I'm jealous.
He did. Every single goth, emo child will, at one point in their life, discover Edgar Allan Poe and go down that rabbit hole. Then they'll read, one of his more scientific works and be like, oh, gross.
Yeah.
But all of his, really goth and emo shit, it's really good. All of his works are good.
Yeah. He's I haven't read everything that he's written, which is probably a surprise. But I haven't read everything he's written. But he's the main dude who invented the modern day detective novel, essentially, and or detective mysteries, pretty much.
Yes.
And his scientific stuff is based on what CSI and shit like that is based on, which those sciences are all recently I've heard that I knew some of this stuff is bunk science, but a lot of it is actually bunk science. Fingerprints are fucking bullshit. You can't really prove anything with fingerprints.
No, you can just prove somebody touched it.
Yeah, and you can't prove that these fingerprints belong to this person. It's kind of it's bullshit. And then I heard recently that blood spatter analysis is bullshit, which totally changes my entire perspective on Dexter, because that's his whole deal. But it's all fake, so
probably not fake so much that it isn't as I guess it's probably gonna vary case to case. I'm not an expert.
Yeah.
Here we go, going back to the true crime.
Yeah. Taking it back, baby. We're nearing the 1 year anniversary of the show, so
we are, isn't it next episode?
I think so. Next week is the 10th. Yeah. It'd be the first episode that we recorded, and then I don't think we put anything out until the week after.
Oh,
we
okay.
launched with 3
Yeah.
episodes.
Yeah, that's true.
But I don't remember how or when we recorded them. I know that the first one was on 9/11 because I just thought that was funny. Even though it's not funny. 9/11 isn't funny, everybody. Don't joke about 9/11.
I mean, it's been 20 years, so isn't that the typical waiting period?
Yeah.
Most comedians go by before they get... I mean, you know, the hard-netting ones will go out and just make fun of it the next day, but...
Yeah, like the hardcore comedians. I think that, like, 10 years was a good middle ground. I know we laughed about it in high school, because that was the 10-year mark, was, 2011?
Yeah, that would have been...
Yeah.
Great American tragedy. What a tragedy, folks.
What a tragedy. Real fucking sad stuff, you guys. I'm sorry that I brought it up.
No, it's okay. It's been 20 years.
Yeah.
21 years, actually.
21. Yeah.
9/11 is
Been
legally
over-
old
it's
enough
been-
to drink in America now.
That's the personification of the tragedy known as 9/11 can now go out to a bar and be like, man, shit was fucked up on my birthday.
I had a friend in elementary school and his birthday was on 9/11. I remember that day. I remember that day because I was actually at home. I was sick.
Oh, no.
Yeah. But, you know, it was just like there was some crazy stuff going on the TV and my grandma was crying and then we didn't have school. I don't think we had school the rest of that week. I was really young.
Wow.
I would have been not 10 yet.
Yeah. I remember it was, I want to say it was 2nd grade.
That sounds right.
Yeah. And that it was like during morning announcements for us. Like we had like a television show in our elementary school that we did. I don't know, morning announcements where everybody would like say the Pledge of Allegiance and do a moment of silence and then something else. There was a couple things, but they always had a bunch of kids throughout the school. Every now and then they'd get like nominated to go read whatever on the announcements. And I don't know, we did the morning announcements and did like the moment of silence. And then it was like during the moment of silence is when the first tower was hit. And it was like,
shit.
That's really fucking crazy.
Oh
yeah.
my gosh.
Yeah. Because at one point, like, the morning announcements were going on, and they were, doing their thing. The kids were reading the stuff, and my teacher just, like, left the room without saying anything, and then came back and changed the channel from, I don't even know if we finished the morning announcements, but we changed the channel over to, like, whatever news station.
So you actually got to see it?
In
school, I mean?
Yeah, in school, yeah. Because we had TVs and shit.
That's cool.
So,
I know a lot of teachers, like, didn't. It's at least at my school, I believe they just shut everything off and went on with the rest of the day as normal.
Man, that's crazy.
Right.
Yeah. I just know it was super weird that I had no idea what the fuck was going on. I'd never heard of, like, the World Trade Center, the Twin Towers, or anything. I thought that it had to do with Lord of the Rings, maybe, was the 2 towers?
Yeah, the 2 towers.
I don't know if I was exposed to that by then.
Yeah, I mean, I remember it just because in school we watched a lot of Reading Rainbow, and there were a bunch of episodes done in New York. So it was like, I always saw the skyline. I knew what they were. But, yeah, a lot of people say that was the day the 90s officially came to an end.
That makes sense.
Everything changed after that.
Yeah, it was a big part of, like, all the TV shows that were based in New York and shit. They always had the panning view of the skyline with the Twin Towers in it and shit, so. At least in, like, Friends. My sister was super into Friends, which means I hated it, so I didn't really. But I always, whatever, I saw it. Anyway, episode 40, everybody. We're here talking about fucking true crime again, I guess.
Edgar Allan Poe.
Edgar Allan Poe. That's what we were talking about. Died at 40. Sucks. So, I wonder if he was alive today, what he would think of our podcast.
What would he think of 9/11?
What would he think of 9/11? Yeah. I wonder if he would have written about it.
I would like to read that poem.
Yeah. It'd be... be dark as shit. That, it would be like from the perspective of the plane. And the plane would just be like, I don't know, narrating a normal day, talking about how mundane its life is, and then all of a sudden it has no control over its body, and it starts flying into the World Trade Center, but it can't stop itself. And then, like a unreliable narrator type situation.
Yeah.
And the plane is just going off on this existential fucking madness rant, thinking that it's just going crazy, when really it's, terrorists or the government or whatever, whoever the fuck did 9/11.
I think he probably would have thought that there was a rat tapping at his chamber door and also a field in West Virginia.
Damn. Ooh, that got me. That was a good one. Shit. I've been thinking about we're in September now, right? So I've been doing a self-control September kind of thing.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So I've
my cat, sorry.
What?
My cat. Fucking goddamn it. Arthur.
God damn
My
it. My
cat's name is Arthur, everybody. He's very cute. But he's being a dick right now.
Mm-hmm. Probably, I'm sure we've heard him in the background of other episodes, but I can't hear him, so
probably
whenever he's meowing in episodes and I just don't acknowledge it, it's because I don't know he's there. Anyway,
yeah.
What the fuck was I saying? Oh, I've been doing self-control September, right? So I fucking I just uninstalled Instagram. I was real proud of my, 7,000 views on that bullshit video, and then I was like, I'm gonna get off, but I'm gonna stop doing the social media shit. I'm gonna actually work out. I quit smoking again. I'm trying to fill my fucking days with things that are going to improve my life. So I've been trying to write more, and as I've been writing, I've been thinking about my writing inspirations, and then Edgar Allan Poe, and I had I had a thought of rewriting Edgar Allan Poe's stories, but making them about furries, because I think that's kind of funny.
Yeah,
so
I'm all for that idea.
Yeah, so I have a few titles here that I've been workshopping. Well, the first one was the Meowsk of Red Death. It's, about cats.
Yep.
The Cask of Amontillado.
Okay.
Let's see. There was and there's some that you don't have to change the title of, that you just have to emphasize the purloined letter, the purloined letter.
There you go. That's good.
The Raven, of course. Duh. You just make that about, instead of it being a raven that the dude is talking to in his mind because he's going crazy and sad and shit, you just make him a full-size raven who kicks the door in and beats the shit out of the narrator. I think that would be kind of cool. Yeah. Hop Frog is another one. I haven't read it, but I looked it up. So I was looking up some titles to make puns out of.
Oh, the Pit and the Pendulum.
The Pit and the
The
Pendulum.
pit bull.
Yeah. That's a good one. Fuck. I was trying to think of a pun on that one, but yeah, the pit bull and the pendulum. That's good. I like that. And then I thought of some other ones that weren't animal related, but The Fall of the House of Crusher is about Beverly Crusher. That's a Star Trek one.
Ooh, that's good.
That you can write about. The Telltale Cart, which is about playing Monster Hunter online. Okay. It's pretty guaranteed that you're gonna cart. And then This last one is Annabelle P. That's about your girlfriend who died, but she was a squirter.
Oh.
No.
I thought that was
I
about
fucking
my
hate
fetish.
I fucking hate that I thought about that, because that's a beautiful goddamn poem.
It is.
I feel like a sick piece of shit for thinking of it, but, it came to mind, and so I might write it.
I hope you do. I hope you do.
Yeah. I always thought, like, if I had a daughter, I'd name her Annabelle, because I really like that name. It's a really pretty name.
It is a pretty name. I agree. Yeah. I think it is. I don't know about naming your daughter Anna, especially after all the movies, because that's probably what that's what people would think.
That did kind of ruin it for me too. It was something I thought of back in, I don't know, middle school, high school, when I was like, oh man, I'm gonna be a dad. It's gonna be so cool. I'm gonna be such a great dad. And then as I got older, I kind of was like, maybe I don't want to be a dad. And now I'm coming back around to it. Like, maybe I should be a dad just for the sake of the future. But
the future is ours.
But now the future is ours. I see the future. Was that something Shulk said?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. That's actually a main theme in Xenoblade. But yeah, the future.
It is. Yeah,
having children. I mean, it's.
Yeah.
I kind of feel the same way. It was something that I wanted a long time ago. Then I didn't, notably through all of my 20s. But now that 30's creeping up on me like a fucking,
freight train. Yeah.
You start getting a little bit like,
Yeah, dude. Like, I totally understand. I don't totally. I'm starting to understand the biological imperative that women have of, like, having kids, because it's starting to get me now. I'm starting to see a lot of shows of, like, little kids and their bonds with their adult parent, the people who take on the parent roles. A lot of, like Kotaro Lives at Home. That was one of the animes on Netflix that I watched that made me fucking cry.
Aw.
But yeah, but a little boy who lives alone because he's, like, I don't know, an orphan, or I guess he's not really an orphan. Like, his dad was an abusive piece of shit or something, but he lives alone. But he's like 4 years old, He's a little small, independent, traumatized little 4-year-old who has a bond with his upstairs neighbor. Not upstairs, next door, maybe his next door neighbor, who's a guy in his late 20s who, didn't know if he wanted to have kids, doesn't have kids, and they have this bond, and it grows, and it made me cry. Anyway, I totally feel that, like, fuck, maybe I should have a kid thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I get it. I'd like to, but meeting people is a bit difficult the older you get, I think. Meeting new people, I should say.
Yeah.
Especially if you aren't like a bar hopper, or you don't socialize like that.
Yeah.
Not so much that, but fucking, it's like cost of living is just ridiculous.
Dude,
here in
insane.
the States. And we're Midwest scumbags, so we actually are kind of an advantage in the fact that the cost of living isn't insane compared to like the West Coast or the East Coast, where you're looking at like $1 million for a fucking small house in San Diego.
Like, we have a relatively low cost of living compared to most of the rest of the United States, and it's still brutal. Like, I think I told you I spent $160 today on just fucking groceries and household items.
Yeah, no, I believe you.
It's like 12% of my fucking paycheck, dude. I'm back down to, after I paid rent and electricity this month, I have maybe $200 in my fucking bank account. So there you go, scammers out there who are looking to fucking fleece me. I'm broke, okay? I don't have anything.
Yeah, it's rough.
That's not a good case to find a woman, is for me to proclaim that I'm a fucking broke piece of shit onto a podcast that's heard by thousands of people.
Literally thousands. Literally thousands.
Literally thousands.
But I mean, back to the
future,
the future. It's ours.
Yeah. How's you've been playing Xenoblade 3, right? How's that going?
It's great. It's amazing. I love it. I
Yeah,
think.
How many hours have you put into it?
I just rolled over 100 this week.
Damn.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's it's a hard game to recommend to people that, one, don't like JRPG, two, they don't like weeb shit, three, they don't like really long games. I mean, even if you just were to blast through the story, I think it would probably be like a 60 to 80 hour thing.
Fuck.
The reason I've hit 100 is because I just do everything that there is to do, at least side quest wise and everything like that.
Yeah, clearing out that quest log, it just feels good.
It really does, yeah.
I get you, yeah.
But no, it's good. I'd say it's like, if you're into that type of stuff, especially if you've been following the series and are coming from 2, and you know what 2 was like. For those that don't, it was very like, it pandered to otaku. You know, that culture very, very hard, which Xenoblade 1 didn't. It did in a sense that it was very anime, but it wasn't so anime that it was cringe. I mean, it was cringe at points, but like 2, there were more cringe moments than. They were like there was a lot of heartwarming moments, and then something cringe would happen and kind of ruin it.
Oh, that sucks. Yeah. Kind of like one of those just this heartfelt moment where 2 characters connect, and then like a third character comes in and she's like, "Oh God, I'm falling down."
Yes,
and then
the
like
fucking
the pants
like
fall down.
They really went hard with like the comic relief. Not so much characters. Like there was one character obviously made for comic relief, but they had serious moments too, obviously. But like every character seemed to have some sort of moment at which they had to be the butt of a joke or something.
Man. Jesus.
So a lot of that was like dialed back with 3. 3, I think, is a bit more serious in tone. It's really heavy on like war is bad. I mean, they all are, but 3 most of all, just with its themes.
Yeah, is it based like, I don't know how the timelines work out with the Xenoblade trilogy. Is 3 like significantly in the future compared to 2?
I don't know yet. I'm not sure, but there's been a lot of just references, and not like, if you've played 1 and then played 2, you know that they're all connected in some way. And I can't say why, because it would be a major, major spoiler. But
I see.
They are connected. And with 3, there's been just like, there'll be a landmark and it's named after something from Xenoblade 1 or 2, and it's like, oh yeah, that's cool. But then there'll be a landmark and it's like, it looks like something from Xenoblade 1 or 2.
But it's like named something completely different.
Yeah. Or the same, or it'll be named the same. It's really just, and a lot of the themes are the same, you know, forget about the past is done. Present is whatever, but the future is what you need to focus on, because that's the only thing you can actively change.
Yeah, I think you said that one of these last episodes. It's a beautiful sentiment. Something to really think about on a day-to-day basis.
And you might be thinking, yeah, well, I can change the present. Well, it's what you do in the present changes the future. The present's the present. The present is the here and now.
Yeah,
the future
the present is the here and
you
now.
Can change it. The outcome is not set. And that's the big thing, is because it's like, there's always just like, no, the future's set. We control the future. And it's like, no, I control the future. Me and my friends and my little bunny-eared looking friend there. That speaks
and the
funny.
chick with the huge tits that doesn't, that aren't proportional to her body.
Though,
yeah,
that was fixed in 3 too. There are no more like.
Oh, okay.
I like I mean, there's some fan service, but man, 3, God, with Pyra and Mithra, oh my God. Like, I feel bad for that girl's back. I really do. Like, she carried the story and those tits.
Like, her back is the MVP of that game.
No
dude.
fucking
Holy
joke.
Shit. Oof.
But they're good games. I like if you like JRPG and you like anime stuff, I think they're the perfect fit. If you like quests or games that have like the side quests aren't just like there are quests that are like go collect this number of stuff, but they usually have like an arc. The side quests do, like especially in 3, God, like everything in 3 is connected in some way.
Man,
but,
I like that.
You know,
okay.
compared to other games where it's like you talk to this guy and he's like, "Oh, my wife died, but these roses remind me of her. Go collect 5 of them."
Oh.
But you'll do that, and then there'll be a little cutscene afterward, and then maybe like 2 chapters later, his wife will come back as a soulless husk, and you know that doesn't happen. That's just a, but I mean that's the kind of stuff you can expect from Xenoblade.
Okay.
Is like you'll do a side quest, you won't think anything of it, then later on it comes back, and it's like, oh yeah, wow, that happened. Okay.
And it's like a good thing that you did it because it affects the story in some way.
Not the overarching story, but there is like a B plot, C plot kind of deal that's going on. It's usually, with 1 and 3, it's like trying to connect everybody in all the different towns. Like you find a way to connect
like in
them.
1, it had that like that map of like, you know, the crazy Charlie Kelly board of like,
Yeah.
characters, and they have the
affinity
strings
chart,
tied to each other. Yeah. I remember that being a little bit, because out of what I played I think I only put 20-30 hours into 1, so I barely scratched the
That's like
surface
an
of it.
eighth of the game.
Yeah, barely even began that game, essentially. But I remember seeing the affinity chart of, like, at least some of the characters in that first starting town, and I was like, oh shit, okay, so I have to, like, do a bunch of stuff for all these people, and they're all related to each other in some tangential way.
Right, yeah.
But,
that is kudos to whoever fucking had to, like, plot all that shit out. And also keep track of all the changes. Because once you do, like, you'll do a quest for somebody, and then their relationship will change, either negatively or positively or whatever. And then later on, you'll do the quest, and then their opinion will change again, so then it updates that.
So, and then would it affect the people that they're like directly connected to? Because
it can.
the
It can
ideas-
sometimes. Sometimes it doesn't, but most of the times it'll affect everybody in that circle in some way. Because it's kind of like that. You can only have N plus so many friends, realistically, that you keep up with.
Yeah.
But you can
What
have...
is that called? Fucking, shit. Somebody's number. I forget.
Yeah, it's some kind of... You can only have, like, what is it, like 10 close friends, and then every friend after that is a diminishing kind of return in what kind of relationship you can have.
Yeah, like your circle of people in your life that you could have attachments to is, I want to say it's like around 250 or something.
Yeah.
In real life, and then anybody beyond that number of close, it's like you don't really have a connection with them, so you can't, like, your brain is just incapable of caring about that many people. It's just like impossible. Just from a human evolutionary perspective, I think is where it comes from.
And that's like the
right?
size of a small town or a small group of people.
Yeah, like a village from a couple thousand years ago or something like that would be about 250, 300 people, something like that. I wish I knew what the fuck that's gonna drive me crazy. I'm gonna have to look it up now. Because it's not like Darwin's number. I want to say it starts with a D.
Dunbar.
Dunbar. There it is. Dunban's number.
That's how many bitches you can fuck in the space of one JRPG. And it's a lot. It's a lot. But yeah, no, Dunbar's number.
Dunbar's number. There we go. Yeah.
15 good friends, 150 meaningful contacts, and 1,500 people you can recognize.
Oh, okay.
So maybe like friends of friends, stuff like that.
Yeah, people you pass in the street that you see on a regular basis. Random motherfuckers who show up in your dreams that you don't really know, but your brain has conjured them because you've seen them in real life at some point, but you've never really interacted. Sort of like, you go to school and you spend 4 years in a high school and you see a bunch of people who you never have a class with, but you know them, you recognize them, but you don't really, you don't really have a connection with them or something like that.
I assume so. I mean, that's just my cursory understanding of it.
Yeah. It's interesting.
15 good friends. Yeah. Wow, that makes me feel sad.
Oof. Oof. Yowza. I did that. I don't know. I'm just making noises.
You only need like 3 max. That's it. But Skyler's number.
Exactly. The people who like aren't actually your family, but are close. Like, I mean, it's hard if you have a big I have a big ass family, dude. So like, I can't say like my brothers aren't my good friends. My brothers are my really good friends. My sister is a good friend of mine, but technically, can we be friends if you're related? Yeah, I don't know. It gets sketchy at that point.
Yeah,
right?
That's hard to say.
Yeah,
I guess you'd like to be, but it's family, so it's different. It's always different when it comes to family.
Yeah.
People you don't have a choice but to be, involved with.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes, I mean, as you get older, that's not the case, but...
Yeah. Like, you can always forsake your name and reputation and place amongst your family hierarchy, I suppose, but it seems like more of a hassle if your family's solid and not, only provide the usual amount of family trauma and not like extra hardcore family trauma, then it's probably a little bit easier to be like, fuck this side of my family or fuck that side of my family. But like, my family's been pretty okay, I think.
Well, that's good.
So,
good for you.
Yeah.
I didn't hear that sounds sarcastic. I really didn't. Not good for you. That's awesome.
Do I have family privilege?
Wow, do people care about you? Do people love you? That must be so fucking great.
Yeah, it feels pretty good.
It should. It should feel good. And like, I'm being sincere when I say this.
Yeah, it's not, it's not like my whole family died of like typhoid, and my young wife also died of typhoid, and I was found dead in a ditch
from typhoid, surprisingly enough.
Every orifice stuffed with butt plugs. Like,
oh,
that's just, some people die like that. I don't know if Edgar Allan Poe died like that.
I don't think so. I don't think he did. I'm pretty sure he was murdered.
Oh, really? He was murdered?
I mean, I guess, yeah. Isn't it that it was alcohol overdose, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Like,
there was something I read, because as I was looking at titles of stuff that he wrote. Hop Frog, story of it was one of his revenge tales. It was like a story of a young boy with dwarfism who was ripped away from his family and was forced to be like a jester for a king in his court, and they like forced him to drink, and when he got drunk he got crazy and angry and stuff like that, and I guess that was a like a real life thing with Edgar Allan Poe that people would like peer pressure him into drinking, and he got drunk off of like one glass of wine. He got drunk real easy.
Oh.
So that was,
Yeah.
a thing I guess he just had. So I could see if somebody brought him out to the bar and was like, Edgar, pound these shots, bro. And he's like, nah, dude, I'll just stick with the good old 3-2 beer and I'm solid. And they're like, no, don't be a pussy. Fucking do this Jaeger bomb right now, bitch. And he's like,
doing Red Bull
I
and
guess.
vodka tonight, bitch. And he's like, all right, well, if you insist. And then, yeah.
It's like, it's 1849. How do we have Red Bull and vodka? They're like, don't fucking question it, bitch. What, are you gonna write another poem,
Drink
you
this
fucking
shooter
loser?
now.
And then they found him in a ditch with all of his orifices stuffed with butt plugs. Like, it's just...
Just the natural progression of things.
It's just how it goes, man.
Yeah.
It's just a usual fucking Friday night.
I mean, the conspiracy behind his death is that it wasn't because of his fame or anything. It was just because it was like voting season in whatever area he was in, or what some people would do for whoever was on the ballot is they would go out and they would have people vote under different identities. They would get one person taking different polls and they would have them vote for the same person. And they'd usually coerce them with, bribes or getting them really drunk, because then you're not going to remember doing it. You'll say yes to pretty much anything, get a couple beers in you, and
You're blackout, stumbling around voting for George Bush.
So, I mean, if it's true that he was really a lightweight, I could see somebody taking advantage of that and having him go vote like 10 times and just buying him drinks every time after. And then the last time he starts fucking puking up blood and everything, they're like, oh shit, and just, it's the 1800s, nobody gives a fuck.
Yeah, exactly. You can't we've established that fingerprints and blood spatter is bunk science, and they didn't. So is like teeth marks is totally fake too.
He wasn't well known enough that somebody found him and like, oh shit, that's Edgar Allan Poe. I'm pretty sure he didn't have his ID on him, so they didn't even know who he was.
He's just a group of contemporary goth kids walking down the street, and they're like, there's our hero, face down in the ditch. I really shouldn't fucking make light of this. Like, Edgar Allan Poe was a big inspiration for me, but, here I am talking shit on...
Well, I mean, like a lot of other artists, he wasn't, a contemporary of his time. He didn't get famous till after his death.
Yeah.
And then people were like, damn, this guy wrote some fucking trap beats. This guy's good.
This shit is fucking fire, dude.
At least that's what I remember from this whatever high school literature where he was brought up. I knew about him before that because I was an emo goth kid. So when we got to that section, I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna ace this shit. And then they were like, you're gonna analyze his fucking poetry. I hate analyzing poetry. I did back then.
Really?
I don't now.
Yeah.
I mean, I do like analyzing it. But back then, it was like, I actually have to interpret this. It's just stuff that makes me feel sad. And that's why I like it.
Yeah.
I don't need to know the meaning behind it.
Just revel in the macabre, man. It's just a cool aesthetic. Like, it's just awesome. There's this fucking, when I was in sculpture class in high school, there was this sculptor that I looked up because there was one of our units that we had to make a sculpture, but base it off of some type of art. And I went with surrealism, and I looked up surreal sculptors. There's this one that I cannot find it now, to this day. Like, I can't find evidence that he existed. But Giuseppe Giordani was his name. He was a surrealist sculptor, and he made, he did these sculptures of, people. But he did some sort of process where, he made their bones, and then he, like, whatever plaster, wrappings, something. It was something that he, like, weathered it down to where they were just, like the bare bones of bones. I know it's a really bad way to fucking explain it, but I can't. It was like, you know, he would wear it down and then like make them rust to a point where like they would look like just like rusted outlines of people.
Oh.
And I thought that was so fucking cool. I thought it was awesome. But now I can't. I've done maybe 2 or 3 Google searches recently of trying to find this dude, and I can't fucking find him. So, like...
That is the academic amount
know.
of Google research research you're required to do for anything. Like, if you hit 2 or 3, then it probably just doesn't exist.
Yeah, and I'm, you know, I'm at the point where I'm like, fuck, did we switch universes? You know, is this
the Berenstain or the Berenstein universe?
Yeah, exactly. That was... I'm starting to think that. I'm like, what the fuck, you know? At one point, did we switch universes, and I woke up and now the sculptor known as Giuseppe Giordani doesn't fucking exist, and he never existed. And I'm like, and I know that was his name because he had such a cool name. And such a cool fucking name.
It's Giuseppe.
And now I can't find it. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, Giuseppe. Oh, Giuseppe.
That's such a memorable episode.
Dude, it is. Yeah.
Time. For our audience, that's an
Adventure
episode
Time.
we're referencing an episode of Adventure Time. It's just so you can tell how old we are.
God, that episode almost... I rewatched that a few months back, and it almost made me cry, and I was like, fuck.
That whole show has episodes like there's the episodes that have are part of the continuity or whatever, but then there's episodes like that one like a daytime Emmy where he's like Jake's like a brick in a wall.
Oh.
And it was just like, I'm just gonna be a brick in the wall. That's all I want to do, is I just want to be a brick in the wall. I just want to exist.
Oh yeah, and he's like hanging out in the wall, and there's just like events that happen in front of that wall that he witnesses.
Yeah, regardless, he doesn't interact with it. That he's just observing events happening, like he's just a brick in the wall.
That's crazy.
Really,
it's so
really
cool.
good stuff.
Yeah, I never finished Adventure Time. I still need to go back and finish it.
Yeah, I'd say it's one of those animated cartoons from that era, 2014, which was when I was getting out of watching cartoons.
Yeah.
Like, I was more into anime back then. Like I don't want to watch this Western bullshit.
What are these thick outlined characters?
Yeah.
Fuck that. Thin lines.
So it was definitely around.
I know
that,
exactly what you mean.
You know, I'd watch. You know, I grew up with SpongeBob and Cat Dog. That's Nick and stuff. Dexter, but I mean, even later, you know, stuff like Johnny Test, I guess, would be one that I was really into in that that prepubescent period.
Yeah.
And then everything after that was just like, oh, that's stuff made for kids. Adventure Time, that's for babies.
Yeah.
But then I rewatched it as an adult, and I'm like, wow, this is really good.
It's fucking fantastic. The one I didn't get into was Steven Universe. I did not...
And that's like a bad
tried.
example. Like, you go back and watch that, and that shit sucks.
Yeah.
That's terrible compared to Adventure Time. That's just real bad stuff.
Yeah, dude.
The only thing I really remember about that show was, like, they used a whip sound for every, like, anytime anybody would turn their head, it'd be like, whoopsh, whoopsh. Just.
That's annoying.
Yeah. The one I have fond memories of is Phineas and Ferb.
Phineas and Ferb was dope,
was really
dude.
good.
That was a good show.
Like, for not
always
so
wanted to be like
thought-provoking,
Ferb.
you know, just fun.
Yeah. I always thought it was cool that, like, Ferb had, like, a British accent, and they didn't really explain it. Maybe they explained it, but he had that, like, Silent Bob role in the show, where he wouldn't speak, but when he did speak, it was something, like, profound. But
Oh yeah, he was like always
Yeah.
silent.
yeah.
They did. I'm pretty sure they do explain it. I'm pretty sure he is
they
like
explain that-
it's the mom's second kid with that dad.
Yeah, he's like, because they're like step brothers, and it's like
They're brothers.
dad-
They're half brothers. Or maybe
are they
maybe they are.
half-brothers? I thought they were the
stepbrothers.
same age.
I guess that could be. I don't know. Doesn't matter at this point.
I thought it was something that like Ferb was like the dad's son, and then like Phineas was like the mom's son.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. They weren't like even related at all. They were just.
Yeah. They were step brothers,
Yes.
and then like Candace was the older sister of Phineas by blood, but not by.
We're gonna look at this like it's a fucking Game of Thrones tree, the dynasty of Phineas and Ferb.
So you see House Ferb and their conquest of becoming the knights errant to the I don't know.
I guess that'd be Perry.
Yeah, Perry would be like he'd be like the Blackguard, right? Or
Blackguard,
what the fuck are they called? Shit.
Yeah.
The Night's Watch, that's what they're called. The Blackguard is that's a Scottish thing, I think.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah. That's yeah. One of the Scottish military regiments, I think it's called the Black
that's cool.
Guard or the Black Watch. I don't know. There's so many. Life is so crazy, and there are so many weird things with fiction that parallel the real world in a way that it makes the real world and fiction blurry. And I'm one of those guys who, like, I take pride in being able to separate reality from fiction, but even then I still sometimes slip up and forget what's actually real and what hasn't happened.
You wake up screaming and you just...
All my orifices stuffed with butt plugs, and I'm like, why? How did this happen? I go to my journals, and I'm like, didn't I write this story last night? No? Who am I? Edgar Allan Sherwood?
Oh, shit. We're in that universe.
Am I saying that I'm Edgar Allan Poe reincarnated? No. But, it could happen.
You aren't.
It could happen.
You're not saying that either.
I'm not saying that.
You're
yeah.
not saying it as well.
Exactly. And if you're lost by this conversation, dear listener, just know that I am too. I don't know how. I don't know how.
I mean, at least we kept the main theme of Edgar Allan Poe going throughout.
Yeah,
I'm sure
yeah,
Edgar Allan
we
Poe.
really
I
will.
think he would have liked Xenoblade.
I think so. I think so. Maybe he probably would have been a weeb.
I don't know what his thoughts on killing God are, but I mean, I think he'd be kind of.
He'd probably be pro killing God. Yeah, I could see that. Just because,
And that's
it's
not a
dark
spoiler. That's
fucking
just all
idea.
JRPGs.
Yeah.
If you aren't killing God, it's not a
major
good
spoiler.
JRPG.
Yeah, or just killing a god, not even like
Yeah, not the
the
Christian God or the Jewish God. Sometimes it might be, but
Yeah,
usually it's
sometimes.
not so on the nose that it's usually like a creator.
Yeah,
whether it's,
something that
know.
has a crazy amount of power beyond what a normal human thinks that they can do.
A dwarf in a
But-
glass.
A dwarf in a glass.
That was Full Metal Alchemist.
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck. It's been so long since I've seen that.
Yeah.
And
We
I
watched
mean, it
both
really
of them,
hasn't been
too.
that long. Yeah, dude, the like original and
So
Brotherhood.
we could actually talk about that stuff, huh?
We could. I need a refresher. I know that they
God bad.
They did a yeah.
But God
An
good?
equivalent exchange. Yeah. I remember it was one of the first episodes of Full Metal Alchemist that I caught on Adult Swim, and I can't remember if it was like the first episode or the second episode where Edward is in the church and he has the whole list of like amounts of things that the human body is, and he just says them to this random bitch, and he's like, "That's what a human's made of, but it's not the same." And they're like, "Whoa, how do you know these things?" Like, because he fucking did it. He tried to
Yeah, it's just like
being.
there's one component missing from it, and that's a soul.
Yeah, that shit stuck with me forever, and I don't know, like, why, you know?
It was
I
very
can't
profound,
remember.
I think, especially for like
Yeah.
an early-ish anime manga.
Yeah.
It had a good, overarching theme, and also there was the whole war subplot where they were trying, whatever, it's been, 20 years now. It can be spoiled.
God, it really has.
You're
it has
trying
been
to
a
genocide
while.
a whole entire nation just so that they could create God or something like that. At least in the original anime, apparently it caught up to the manga. And that's why they had to change the last half of it so much.
It makes sense, yeah. Because, like, the main bad guy with the eye, he wasn't actually Pride. Right? It was the little kid who was Pride.
Yeah.
But like the little kid,
I think the guy with the eye patch, wasn't he Fury?
Yeah, he was Fury. That's right.
At least in the
original one, he wasn't Fury.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was Pride in the original, and then it turned into this weird, like, he went to another universe that was in our universe, and it was like
it was like a
II.
weird World War I, World War II thing. Yeah. With Britannia and the whole Zeppelin bombings and things like that.
Yes.
Yeah. Crazy. Dude, that's such a... Fuck. My brain can only fit so much information in it, and I need to rewatch Full Metal Alchemist. I know they're doing, like... I've heard that they're doing more live-action Full Metal Alchemist movies and stuff on Netflix, and I'm like, ugh, really? Fucking really, but
I'm surprised none of the JoJo. No, there is. They have the Rohan Kishibe live action, I believe, which wasn't done by Netflix.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What are all the characters super jacked? How would they do a live action JoJo?
Well, part
dude?
4 they actually
crazy.
toned back the jackedness. I think only Josuke is jacked, but Thus Spoke Rohan Kishibe is, it's just about Rohan Kishibe, which is the mangaka's self-insert, basically.
Oh, okay.
So he's just like a super smart mangaka with a really powerful stand. Like more powerful than I think, like most stands, I would say, with what he can do with it.
Something along the lines of Zaworld.
I'll just fuck it. I'll just spoil. It's not a huge spoiler.
I'm not gonna watch Thus Spoke.
I mean, it's a spoiler for part 4, I guess, what his power is. But he like has the ability to like write. Like he turns their face into like an open manga, and then he can write whatever and control their will. Like he can write, do 100 push-ups whenever I clap my hands, and they'll do 100 push-ups.
What?
Yeah. It's really OP.
That's crazy. Holy shit. Okay, so he just has like the power of like life narrative, essentially.
Yes.
Just fucking...
On top of that, like when he opens them up, he can like read their memories and everything. Like as if it's a manga.
That's nuts.
Yeah, but he can also like write stuff in to like control them in a way. Part 4 gets crazy with the stands and their abilities. Like, part 3 was pretty straightforward. Like, here's a monkey that can make a ship. Here's a...
The rape ape,
the rape
dude.
Ape, yeah.
That fucking episode was crazy.
Weird. Just so weird.
Oh my god.
But they were very straightforward stands, is the thing. They were all very like, oh, this does X and Y happens. With 4, it gets like, there's, I have to be going 60 miles per hour on this motorcycle or else I can't activate my stand. Stuff like that.
Wow. Okay. Huh. Interesting. I know I need to get back into it.
It's the
I keep
straightest
up.
gay anime you can get into.
I mean, I think I talked about how I want to get fucking ripped, so watching JoJo is just gonna make me want to get ripped more, which means I need to like work out
Or at least
harder.
cut. Like the more recent JoJos, they instead of making them look like they're from Fist of the North Star, they're just more like lean, I guess would be the word. They're slim, but they're like cut. Like Jorno
they're more
is
like
very, very slender, but he's, you can tell underneath what he's wearing. He's got like an 8-pack and...
They're more like Bruce Lee type people.
Yeah, it's more realistic.
Instead of like a Brock Lesnar character.
Yeah, or someone that's injected a lot of steroids.
Yeah. Man, if I could get a hold of some steroids,
I tell you what.
I wouldn't care if my balls shrink up. They're not gigantic to begin with, but like if I could get fucking jacked from it, it's maybe a fair trade.
I mean, you have to do the workout. You can't just like inject them in.
Yeah. You just inject steroids and it just makes your muscles awesome. Yeah, it doesn't work like that.
Sadly, no. You got to work for it. And you have to starve yourself, too.
Yeah.
To get that kind of physique, I should say. Like, if you want just a regular lean physique, you should just have a healthy, balanced diet, count your calories, cardio. Yeah.
Good.
Weightlifting is just if you want to look jacked.
Yeah.
But really,
which from what I've gathered of fitness people on YouTube and shit, it's like weight training is hella important and like cardio is more of an optional thing if you want to get jacked. Cardio is more of a like if you want to have better stamina, but like you better also do some weight training, but like weight training is something you shouldn't skip because it's also like just really good in general to do resistance training and things like that. So
yeah, you want to be a big strong boy.
What I get. Yeah.
Big strong boy, big strong man.
Be a big strong boy. Yeah, you wanna follow me around. Be a big strong. Show you what it's like to be a big strong man, big strong businessman.
Real businessman.
Be a real man.
I don't think we've ever talked about Tim and Eric on the show.
Fuck, we have not. Oh,
and that has influenced our humor so much, I think. I don't think I would enjoy this, like, avant-garde, surrealist meme humor that has permeated our social spaces, recently.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's a lot of Zoomers and millennials making the memes nowadays, but man, they're... Like, for a time there, I was just laughing at shit like it would just be an image that was, like, put through a filter 50 times, and they put red glowing eyes on it. Some
ridiculous
blown-up text that just says, E.
Yeah.
And I would laugh at it. I thought it was the funniest shit. I still do. I still probably would laugh at it.
I'm just laughing at imagining it right now.
But you show it to, like, an old person, they're gonna have no idea. They don't have the context. And the context is like, it's funny because you don't have context.
Yeah,
some of the
like
time
the lack
with it.
of context.
Like, if it's a picture of, like, you can tell that's Shrek's head, but it's like, they'll Photoshop Shrek's face on, like, a celebrity's body. See, I'm laughing at it right now. Like, it's the stupidest shit. It's dumb. I think a lot of that fucking Ron Perlman from Beauty and the Beast, and he uses the cat face, and it makes me laugh. And it's not supposed to make you laugh, but it's just so weird and out there, and it's shit like that is being made into memes nowadays. Kid named Finger. What would say that to anybody? Like any older person, they're gonna be, what the fuck does that mean? Kid named Finger. But I know exactly what that means. I mean, we've talked about being terminally online, and that's part of it too.
Yeah, I think so. I get that. I totally haven't been. Really, I really haven't been as online as I probably could have been, and I keep trying to step back from it and trying to disengage from social media and the internet and shit like that. Like, I haven't been on Reddit in like a year now, which is fucking crazy to me to think about how fucking I checked it like every day for years. And I haven't touched it in so long, and I don't know.
It's good. I mean, it's good to get away from that stuff every once in a while, or for a long time.
Yeah, or like forever.
Or forever is probably best.
It's probably been pretty healthy for me.
I used to be really super into Twitter. Like, I wasn't ever really posting anything, but I would read, through everything. And that got me off Reddit, which I guess was good, but Twitter was worse. Yeah, so that, I mean, I use that like a lot. That was like my everyday wake up first thing and check.
Mm-hmm.
So I cut that out a while back.
Yeah. I've been getting that way with Instagram, so that's why I was like, okay, September, I'm gonna fucking just uninstall the app.
No Instagram September.
Yeah.
Heard it here, folks. And I'll probably be part of that too, because I don't have Instagram. I did have Instagram, but I had to delete it because somebody hacked it.
Oh, and it was like the only thing you had on there was like a picture of me in my fucking penguin pajamas.
And I think I had some pictures of us like at the cafeteria in college, but
oh yeah, fuck, dude, some 2012 shit.
Yes.
Man.
Just some genuine cringe.
Ugh. Fuck, man. Genuine cringe. Yeesh. I don't want to go back to that. I don't want to be, like as we're approaching 30, I feel like I don't know. I feel better about it. More and more every day. I'm like, okay, like Leo DiCaprio wouldn't want to fuck me now at this point, so it's whatever.
He wouldn't have wanted to fuck you for like 3 years.
Yeah.
Sorry, I guess I just outed your age, but we've said we're approaching 30. We are grown ass men with hair on our chest, and
which I recently. I figured out this weird thing. Not weird thing. I was talking about shaving my chest and shit, but like I like to trim it up every now and then just to see what's going on, and like I shaved around like my nipples, and then but then I like cut a line and then cut the top up by my neck to where like I can definitely shave a heart into my chest hair, which is really like. Whoever my future wife is, like Valentine's Day, that's going to be a great fucking treat for them, because I think it's really cute. But
mine naturally forms into a bat.
Recently.
Nice. It looks like the Batman symbol. And I have had past lovers comment on that it just makes the shape of a bat.
That's fucking awesome, dude. Robert Pattinson probably doesn't have that in real life.
Probably not.
He was Batman, but
was he really Batman? You can really call yourself Batman if you don't have it shaved onto your chest hair, the outline.
You don't have chest hair in the shape of a bat. Yeah,
he probably
right,
doesn't have chest hair at all. I mean, he does, but he probably uses some kind of. Or he had it lasered off. I mean, he's probably going to be jacked the rest of his life. So.
Probably. That's what I'm waiting on, dude. Once I get jacked, then I'll be able to shave my chest and my forest belly.
I think you'd probably want to use some kind of chemical instead.
Yeah, probably.
I don't know what they are now, but I remember back in the day in high school, it was like everybody was using Veet.
Veet, that's
you rub
what
it on,
called.
And it's supposed to make it fall out. And I remember one guy used it like on his ass. He like couldn't sit down because he was sweating during PE.
Oh no!
Like after that, he couldn't sit down in class.
Oh
just because it like hurt. Apparently, it hurt like hell.
Oh, the burning. God damn, that would be terrible.
But I think chemical or the laser is probably the way to go if you're like really wanting to get rid of it.
Yeah. As long as the lasers don't leave scars. I've heard that like laser hair removal can leave scars sometimes. So it's like, you hear about older ladies who like get their pussies lasered clean, like, and they're like 40, and then, but it's like they leave their pussy all scarred, and it's like, does it look better than having hair? Like, shouldn't you just have hair and it not be all scarred up? I don't know. I haven't fucked a lot of MILFs, so I don't know. I can't say.
I don't know. Hard to say.
No.
It has its purpose, but unfortunately, we as humans have decided that it looks gross.
Yeah, it's that like we're beyond. We think we're beyond the stage of like, hey, we're not monkeys anymore. We don't really need pubic hair, but
we kind of do for sweat.
We still kind of
like that's
do.
the purpose.
Yeah.
It's supposed to help sweat go off faster or something. Right?
Yeah,
It keeps that
like
area
it
like the
soaks it up
temperature regulation.
Yeah, heat regulation, and like we sweat as a way to like cool our body down so that we can keep the whole like the idea of stamina hunters or whatever, where like animals in the African desert, they don't sweat. Animals don't sweat, so like they eventually, if you keep chasing them, humans sweat, so like we can keep our temperature down and just chase after animals, but like animals don't sweat, so eventually they just collapse from heat exhaustion because they can't regulate their body temperature in that way. So then that's how you catch up to them, and you get.
Yeah, that's actually that's a pro tip. If like your cat ever runs off, or your dog, just chase them, like just run after them, and keep them running. Like don't let them stop and catch their breath. Just keep them running, and eventually they will just stop because they can't go anymore.
Yeah.
That's what we humans, we have the advantage of stamina. Whereas animals, they have the advantage of quickness. They can run a lot faster, but we can run a lot longer. Even if we're slower.
Marathon, baby.
Yeah, we're the only species that runs marathons. We're like willingly.
Marathon, the name of a town in Greece, I think, where like most of the Greek runner messengers were like stationed out of Marathon, and that's where the name, that's where we got the name of it. No, there's my fucking ancient Greek Rome fun fact of the episode. That Marathon it was the name of a town. So I don't know. I thought it was cool.
Yeah, good fun fact.
Yeah. I gotta go. Fucking drink one glass of wine and pass out in a ditch full of butt plugs. So we gotta wrap this episode up. It's not how Edgar Allan Poe died, you guys, but I want that rumor to spread. Tell everybody. If you're listening to this, tell everyone you know that that's how they found Edgar Allan Poe.
Yeah, I like to think those butt plugs were probably soaked in wine or something first.
And they were soaked in wine.
That's what really killed him. He was boofing alcohol.
Stuffed. He was getting sommelier training, bro, and he just fucking couldn't hack it.
Truly not a Midwest scumbag.
Oh, no. That poor bastard. R.I.P. in peace.
This episode's for you, Edgar.
That's right. Well, fucking take it easy, everybody.
Edgar Allan Poe was the original Vamp Kid. No, he was the original goth, but he's been dead for 150 years.
Hey, look, man. All genres of gothic subcultures are derivatives of Poe's work. Motherfucker.
Azra, Metrion Zinthos. Azra, Metrion Zinthos. Azra.